The sun was beginning to rise, casting a warm glow through the sheer curtains of the bedroom. Sam stirred awake, feeling the soft sheets against his skin, the remnants of sleep still clinging to him. He blinked against the light, the gentle warmth slowly pulling him from his dreams. As he rubbed his eyes, he noticed his uncle, Jake, standing by the window, his silhouette framed by the golden light. Jake was always there, a constant presence in Sam's life, but today felt different. There was something in the air, an unspoken tension that made Sam's heart race as he took in the sight of his uncle. Jake turned, catching Sam's gaze. "Good morning, sleepyhead," he said with a playful smile, his voice low and inviting. Sam felt his cheeks flush, a warmth spreading through him that had nothing to do with the sun. "Morning," he replied, his voice slightly hoarse from sleep. Jake walked over, his footsteps soft against the wooden floor. "I was just thinking about the plans for today. We should go to the lake," he suggested, his eyes glimmering with excitement. The thought of spending the day with Jake made Sam's heart flutter. They had always shared a close bond, but lately, it felt as if that connection had shifted into something deeper, something he couldn't quite understand. "Yeah, that sounds great," Sam said, trying to keep his tone casual. He swung his legs over the side of the bed, feeling the coolness of the floor beneath his feet. As he stood, Jake stepped closer, his gaze intense. "You okay? You seem a little out of it." "Just woke up," Sam replied, a nervous laugh escaping his lips. Jake studied him for a moment, a hint of concern crossing his features. "Well, if you need anything, I'm here." The air crackled with a tension that made Sam's heart race. "Thanks," he mumbled, his thoughts swirling as he tried to shake off the feeling that had settled in his chest. After a quick shower, Sam dressed in a pair of comfortable shorts and a fitted t-shirt, trying to ignore the way Jake's eyes seemed to linger on him a little longer than usual. They gathered snacks and drinks, Jake throwing in a couple of beers for himself, while Sam opted for lemonade. As they drove to the lake, the sun shining brightly, the atmosphere in the car was charged with an excitement that felt palpable. Music played softly in the background, but Sam's mind was elsewhere, caught in a whirlwind of emotions that he couldn't quite grasp. When they arrived at the lake, the scene was picturesque. The water sparkled in the sunlight, surrounded by lush greenery, and Sam felt a thrill of anticipation course through him. They set up their spot, laying out towels and unpacking their snacks. Jake stretched out on his towel, his tan skin glistening under the sun, and Sam felt his breath catch in his throat. There was something undeniably attractive about his uncle, a charisma that drew him in like a moth to a flame. "Come on, let's swim," Jake called out, standing up and splashing water toward Sam playfully. Sam laughed, a burst of energy surging through him as he raced to the water, diving in with a splash. The coolness enveloped him, refreshing and invigorating, but all he could think about was Jake, the way he moved, the laughter that filled the air. They swam for a while, splashing and teasing each other, their laughter echoing across the water. But as they floated on their backs, staring up at the sky, the conversation turned more serious. "Can I ask you something?" Jake said, his voice quieter now. "Sure," Sam replied, turning his head to look at him. "Have you ever felt different about someone in the family?" Jake's eyes searched Sam's, an intensity in his gaze that sent shivers down Sam's spine. Sam's heart raced, the weight of Jake's words hanging heavily in the air. "What do you mean?" he asked, trying to play it cool. "I mean, sometimes I wonder if there's more to our connection than just family," Jake confessed, his voice barely above a whisper. Sam's breath caught in his throat. I don't know. What are you saying?" Jake took a deep breath, his expression earnest. "I think I might have feelings for you, Sam." The admission hung in the air, and Sam's heart raced. He had felt it too, the chemistry, the unspoken bond that had been building between them. "I feel it too," he admitted, his voice trembling. Jake's expression softened, a mixture of relief and desire. "Really?" "Yeah," Sam replied, the truth spilling out. I've been trying to ignore it, but I can't. Without another word, Jake closed the distance between them, their lips meeting in a tentative kiss. It started softly, a gentle brushing of lips, but it quickly deepened as Sam's hands found their way to Jake's hair, pulling him closer. The world around them faded as they lost themselves in each other, the water surrounding them creating a cocoon of warmth and intimacy. Sam's heart raced as he surrendered to the kiss, feeling a mix of exhilaration and fear. When they finally pulled apart, both breathless, Jake looked into Sam's eyes, searching for answers. "What does this mean for us?" "I don't know," Sam replied, feeling a mix of emotions. "But I want to explore this. I want to be with you." Jake's face broke into a wide smile, his eyes sparkling with happiness. "Me too. Let's take it slow and see where this goes." They spent the rest of the day swimming, kissing, and exploring their newfound connection. Every touch felt electric, every kiss igniting a fire within them that they had both kept hidden for far too long. As the sun began to set, casting a golden hue over the lake, they returned to their towels, wrapped in each other's arms. "This feels perfect," Sam said, resting his head against Jake's shoulder. "It really does," Jake replied, pressing a kiss to the top of Sam's head. As night fell, they packed up their things, but the magic of the day lingered in the air. Sam felt a sense of freedom and excitement, knowing they had taken a leap into the unknown together. On the drive back home, their hands intertwined, Sam felt a sense of contentment wash over him. Whatever challenges lay ahead, they would face them together, united in their love. When they arrived home, the air was thick with anticipation. They knew they had crossed a line, but the connection they shared felt worth it. "Do you want to come in for a bit?" Sam asked, biting his lip nervously. Jake's eyes sparkled with mischief. "I thought you'd never ask." They entered the house, the door clicking shut behind them. The atmosphere was charged with energy as they moved toward the living room, the dim light creating an intimate setting. Sam turned to Jake, his heart racing as he leaned in for another kiss, feeling the warmth of Jake's body against his. Their kisses grew deeper, more passionate, as they explored the connection they had both longed for. Jake's hands roamed over Sam's back, pulling him closer, their bodies fitting together perfectly. Sam melted into the embrace, feeling safe and desired. As they broke apart, breathless and dazed, Sam looked into Jake's eyes, his heart pounding. "What if someone finds out?" Jake brushed his thumb across Sam's cheek, his gaze steady. "We'll handle it together. This is our secret." With a mixture of excitement and fear, they embraced the moment, their hearts racing as they ventured into uncharted territory. The night was filled with soft kisses, whispered promises, and the realization that their lives would never be the same again. In the quiet of the night, wrapped in each other's arms, they knew they had found something extraordinary. Their love was a beautiful secret, one that would forever change the course of their lives. As the evening wore on, the air between Sam and Jake thickened with unspoken desires. They found themselves drifting back to the couch, the soft cushions enveloping them as they sank into each other. Jake leaned in, brushing his lips against Sam's neck, sending shivers down his spine. "You have no idea how long I've wanted this," he whispered, his breath warm against Sam's skin. Sam's heart raced, and he tilted his head back to give Jake better access, feeling vulnerable yet exhilarated. "I've wanted this too, more than I can say," he replied, his voice barely above a whisper. Jake's hands traveled down Sam's sides, his touch igniting a fire within him. "Let's take our time," Jake suggested, pulling back slightly to meet Sam's gaze. "I want to savor every moment." Sam nodded, a smile creeping onto his lips. "I like the sound of that." With that, Jake captured Sam's mouth again, this time with more urgency. Their lips moved in sync, a dance of passion that seemed to erase the world around them. Sam wrapped his arms around Jake's neck, pulling him closer, deepening the kiss. Jake responded by sliding his hands beneath Sam's shirt, exploring the warmth of his skin. Each touch sent jolts of electricity coursing through Sam, igniting every nerve ending in his body. "God, you feel amazing," Jake murmured, breaking the kiss just long enough to speak. "Don't stop," Sam urged, his breath hitching as Jake's fingers traced along his waist. Jake smiled, his eyes dark with desire. "Trust me, I don't plan to." They spent the next few hours wrapped in each other's arms, lost in the rhythm of their kisses and the exploration of each other's bodies. Jake took his time, savoring every inch of Sam, from the curve of his shoulder to the small of his back. Sam felt himself melting under Jake's touch, his heart racing with every caress. It was as if they were the only two people in the world, cocooned in their own private paradise. "Tell me what you want," Jake whispered, his voice thick with emotion. "I want you, Jake. I want all of you," Sam confessed, his voice shaking with longing. Jake's eyes widened with a mix of surprise and excitement. "Are you sure? This is a big step." "I've never been more sure about anything in my life," Sam replied, his voice steady. "I want to be with you." Jake's expression softened, and he leaned in for another kiss, pouring all of his feelings into that one embrace. The kiss deepened, becoming more urgent as they both surrendered to the heat of the moment. As they kissed, the world outside faded away. Time seemed to stand still as they explored the contours of each other's bodies, losing themselves in the sensations that washed over them. They found themselves on the floor, tangled in each other's arms, laughter mingling with soft gasps of pleasure. Every touch was a discovery, a revelation that brought them closer together. "I've never felt this way about anyone," Jake admitted, his forehead resting against Sam's. "Me neither," Sam replied, his heart swelling with emotion. "It's like I've been waiting for you my whole life." Jake smiled, brushing a lock of hair away from Sam's forehead. "Then let's make this night unforgettable." With that, they resumed their passionate exploration, the connection between them growing stronger with each kiss. They took their time, savoring every moment as if it might slip away. Sam felt himself becoming lost in the sensation of Jake's lips against his, the warmth of his body, the softness of his touch. It was intoxicating, and he couldn't get enough. Hours passed like minutes, and soon the room was filled with the sounds of their whispered confessions and shared laughter. They talked about their dreams, their fears, and their hopes for the future. As the night deepened, they finally lay together, tangled in each other's arms, their bodies slick with sweat. The weight of the world fell away, leaving only the two of them and the promise of something beautiful. "Do you think this is wrong?" Sam asked, his voice barely above a whisper. Jake shifted slightly, looking into Sam's eyes. "I don't care if it is. What we have is real, and it feels right to me." Sam nodded, feeling a sense of relief wash over him. "I feel the same way." They fell into a comfortable silence, their hearts beating in sync as they held each other close. Sam felt safe in Jake's arms, knowing they had crossed a threshold that would change everything. As dawn began to break, casting a soft glow across the room, Sam knew they were no longer just family, they were something more. They were lovers, united by a bond that was as beautiful as it was complicated. In that moment, Sam understood that this was just the beginning of their journey together. Whatever challenges lay ahead, they would face them hand in hand, ready to embrace the love that had blossomed between them.